Danielle? Okay. We'll welcome everybody tonight to the January meeting, which is a reorganization meeting, which is a little more lengthy than we usually have. Before we get started, just get everybody to get up and have the pledge. Right there. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have with us tonight, we have our town board, as we usually do, Andrew Riggenbaum, Steve Moreau, Stephen Bedetti, Sylvia Santiago. We also have our town clerk with us, Kelly Allegra. And tonight we have three of our IT people here, so hopefully things work out. We have the chief of all chiefs in the IT, John McDonald, Danielle Barrett, Jonathan Randall, and I am George Myers. Okay, so we'll get started with this long agenda. First item on the agenda is to adopt the rules and procedures and set the town board meetings for 2021. Shall I entertain a motion, town board, town of New Windsor, adopt the attached rules of procedure for 2021 pursuant to town law section 63, that the town clerk authorized to publish all 2021 town board meeting dates pursuant to public officers law article 7. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes. Next item is a public comment period where comments are allowed on agenda items only. So the speaker can either pop in or send an email, and this will just be on for any comments they have on the items on the agenda tonight. No questions answered. That'll be on the end of the meeting. So anybody wants to get in? We'll wait a couple of minutes. I see Dave Zagon is now here too. Town attorney. Any emails out there? What's that? Okay, so there can't be done. Can't be any. Here comes Jonathan. Okay, Danielle, look like anybody's trying to get on?
Nope.
All right, so that being done, we'll just move on. Maybe somebody come in at the end. Chair will entertain a motion, town board, town of Windsor, approve the minutes of the town board meeting held December 2nd, 2021. I'm sorry, 2020, as per copies posted on the town clerk's bulletin board in town hall. Same distribute each of the town board members. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes. Chair will entertain a motion, town board, town of Windsor, authorize the highway superintendent to make necessary purchases of small tools and equipment not to exceed $500 per purchase without prior town board approval pursuant to New York State Highway Law 142(1)A. Motion?
Move.
Move.
Second.
All right, roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, that just allows the highway superintendent, Anthony Fayot, to purchase these things for not to exceed $500 without board approval. Chair will entertain a motion, town board, town of Windsor, approve the appointment of Anthony E. Fayot as supervisor of refuse and garbage and set salary at $22,000 for the year 2021. Motion?
Moved.
Oh, second.
All right, roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, I just comment that Anthony and his crew up there in the sanitation department do a good job, and I notice on a lot of Facebook posts that see that and appreciate the work that they do. Chair will entertain a motion, town board, town of New Windsor, whereas pursuant to town of New Windsor Town Code, section 257-33E, subdivisions with completed road construction require posting of a one-year maintenance bond. And whereas, in compliance with the same, the developer of Rockawicki Major Subdivision, Phase 1 and 2, submitted a letter of credit dated September 25th, 2019, drawn on Walk Hill Federal Savings and Loan in the amount of $50,000 as required of maintenance bond. And whereas on November 6, 2019, Town Board, Town of Windsor received and filed with the town clerk the original letter of credit. And whereas 1 year has elapsed since the posting of said maintenance bond, in the bond of roadway improvements commonly known as Finley Drive, Ashley Court, Ridgeway Drive, and the drainage parcels and easements are intact and functioning as intended. Therefore, now be resolved that the town board of the town of Windsor hereby authorize the release of the original letter of credit referenced above and direct the town clerk to return same to Walk Hill Valley Federal Savings and Loan via certified mail, return receipt requested. Motion?
Moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
yes,
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, this is that subdivision where he completed the work, so it's usually a bond, but there's a letter of credit, so we return the letter of credit. This is a receive and file. Hearing no objections, Town Board, Town of Windsor, receive and file order of abandoning highway in the matter of the discontinuance and abandonment of Verplank Avenue, also known as Verplank Avenue. It's the same thing, also known as. Okay, this is that piece of property that we're selling to Global down off of River Road in that commercial area. Receive and file. Hearing no objections, Town Board, Town of Windsor, receive and file the certificate of clerk as to no referendum in the matter of the December 2nd adoption bond resolution, the amount of $6,000, authorizing the reconstruction and resurfacing of various town roads. This has to do with the this town board has authorized many of these roads in town have not been paved in many years. So we're going to go out and bond it and get these roads paved. Some of these roads haven't been paved in 15, 20 years. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of Windsor, receive and file certificate clerk as to no referendum in the matter of December 2nd adoption of a bond resolution matter of $275,000 authorizing reconstruction and resurfacing of Town Hall parking lot. Town Hall parking lot is falling apart. Both of these, this item and the last item, also have a referendum. Nobody commented. So we will be hopefully getting that work done on the parking lot. Both of these are a little higher than the actual cost is, but just in case you ran into some problems. Anthony Feo and his people from the highway department did all the drainage in the town hall here on their own, so we didn't have to go out to bid on the drainage, so we're just going to get the lot paved. Hearing no objections, Town Board, Town of Windsor, receive and file with the town clerk the attached agreement dated October 1st, 2020 between the county clerk and Town of Windsor for the period commencing October 1st, 2020 and ending April 30th, 2021, providing the Town of Windsor with comprehensive compensation from the county of Orange in exchange for the town's provision of personnel, tools, equipment necessary for effective snow and ice control of certain county-owned roads within the town. This has to do with Union Avenue, which is a really tough spot, and it's our responsibility since we're accepting about $14,500 from the county to do it. So that's what that's about. It's another receive and file. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of Windsor shall receive and file with the town clerk the attached speed study dated October 16, 2020, prepared by Mazer Consulting to assess the possibility of reducing the posted speed limits on 12 local roadways in the town of Windsor. So I had looked at some of these roads and thought that maybe with the increase in population in the Windsor on the western end, that maybe those roads needed to be taken down from, I think it was 40 to more in line with the 30 miles, the lowest that we can set. So we now have the study, and board members all have been sent a copy of it. So we'll kind of get back to this in February, and then if we kind of agree to it, it has to go to the county, and then if they agree to it, then it has to go to the state. So this is a procedural thing that will take a while, but the board members get a look at what the recommendations are, and we'll kind of probably get to this on the workshop in February. So all these roads are on the western end of town. It's another receive and file. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of Windsor, receive and file with the town clerk a continuation certificate for a bond permit B158063 submitted by Spagnoli Excavating, 47 South Plank Road, Newburgh, New York, in the amount of $20,000 effective December 5th, 2020, expiring December 5th, 2021. The purpose of the permit bond is to secure a permit for the town of Windsor to perform street openings within the town. Same being referred to the town attorney and the town highway superintendent. So Spagnoli just is posting this rather than post something every time he has a road opening. He'll just leave this with us, and we'll have that $20,000 in case he doesn't leave the road up to the conditions that the highway superintendent thinks it should be. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, whereas the current water consumption rate of the Town of Windsor is $6.50 per 100 cubic feet, or $8.69 for 1,000 gallons. And whereas the Town Board, Town of Windsor has determined that at this time, said rate is sufficient in order to maintain financial integrity of the consolidated water district. And therefore be resolved that the Town Board, Town of Windsor, pursuant to section 287-35 of the Town Code, hereby establish the water consumption rate for the year 2021 in the amount of $6.50 per 100 cubic feet, or $8.69 per 1,000 gallons. And be it further resolved that this rate shall be included in the 2020 standard schedule of fees. Be it further resolved, such rate will become effective for the March 1, 2021 billing. Motion?
Moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti, Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, this water issue is an ongoing problem for myself and the board. As most of you know out there, that the aqueduct is shut down. So we're now drawing water from the Delaware Aqueduct and our own Butterhill wells. And maybe if we need to, we can draw some water from the city of Newburgh. So hopefully the aqueduct comes back on, the Catskill Aqueduct comes back on February 15th. At that point, my intention is to go right back on that. But right now, we're struggling because the city of New York shut it down. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of Windsor, receive and file with the town clerk the attached Phase 1A ecological investigation for Caesars Lane sewage treatment plant dated November 20th, 2020, prepared by Strata Cultural Resource Management, LLC. I'll talk to this in a minute. It's another receive and file. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of Windsor, receive and file with the town clerk the attached threatened and endangered species habitat suitability assessment report for Caesars Lane sewage treatment plant upgrades, outfall removal and outfall pipe removal and relocation dated November 18, 2020, prepared by Michael Nowicki of Ecological Solutions, LLC. I'll speak to this in a minute. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of Windsor, receive and file with the town clerk the attached correspondence dated January 4th, 2021, from the New York State Historic Preservation Office advising that no historic properties, including archaeological and/or historic resources, will be affected by the upgrades and improvements of Caesar Lane sewage treatment plant. So those last three items that I spoke of, the board's looking at the upgrade and expansion of the Caesars Lane sewer plant. It hasn't been touched since 1975, and it probably way beyond its life expectancy. So it's a rather large project, but to cover all the bases, you have to have these paperwork sent out to people, and they have to make sure that it's not affecting anything that they're concerned with. So those three items had to do with that. And there'll be more on this Caesars Land expansion because it's a rather very large project that I don't see any way around. The can's been kicked down the road for I don't know how many years, but it's time to stop kicking it down the road. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, appoint Kelly Allegra as Registrar of Vital Statistics and set the salary of $4,000 as budgeted for the year 2021. Motion?
Moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes. Sorry.
Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor. That's it. Appoint Town Attorney David Zagon as FOIL Appeals Officer for the year 2021. Now, I'm going to back up 1 minute. Hold on.
Missed one.
I did. Okay, that's because Kelly Allegra's on 2 in a row here. Okay, so let's be backed up to 17. Town Board, Town of Windsor, appoint Town Clerk Kelly Allegra as FOIL Officer to handle all FOIL requests with the Freedom of Information Law requests for year 2021. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, appoint Town Attorney David Zagon as FOIL's Appeals Officer for the year 2021. Motion?
Moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes. Hearing no objections, Town Board, Town of Windsor shall receive and file the attached correspondence from Town Clerk to the Town Board appointing the following deputy clerks for 2021. First deputy clerk, Jean Marie Ferrone, and second deputy clerk, Kathy Fogarty. It's another receive and file. Hearing no objections, Town Board, Town of Windsor receive and file with the Town Clerk the appointment of Nancy Wilkins as deputy receiver of taxes for the year 2021. Shall entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, set the stipend for deputy receiver of taxes at $2,500 annually. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, Chair entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor pursuant to the New York State Town Law, Section 23B, and upon the recommendation of the Town Controller, attached hereto, hereby appoint to the position of Deputy Controller, Doreen Casey. Doreen's been in that office a long time, and I really appreciate the work she does. So, motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, Chair entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor approve the appointment of Police Chief Robert Doss as Civil Defense Director for the year 2021. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes. Some liaison officers. I, George Myers, Town Supervisor, Town of Windsor, hereby appoint the following liaison officers for the calendar year 2021. The ambulance, myself, Highway Superintendent Steve Moreau, Highway Department Steve Moreau, Justice Court, Councilman Andrew Regenbaum, Planning and Zoning Steve Moreau, Police Department George Myers, Recreation Department Andrew Regenbaum, Senior Citizens Sylvia Santiago, Sewer Department Stephen Bedetti, Water Department Stephen Bedetti, and Newburgh School District Sylvia Santiago. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor appoint Glenn Marshall as the town historian for the year 2021. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman,
Oh, sorry.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, I'd just like to acknowledge the work that Glenn Marshall does. He's a retired New Windsor police officer that's very involved in the history of the town. And if anybody ever was interested in jumping on his site or Facebook, there's a lot of information about the town that goes way back. He does a great job. And some appointments, Town Supervisor, Town of Windsor hereby appoint Glenn Marshall, Town Historian, Jean Marie Ferrone, Town Clerk to serve as a Records Advisory Board for the calendar year 2021. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor approve the delegation of administrative duties to the supervisor. Town Board, Town of Windsor pursuant to Town Section 2916 hereby authorize and delegate to the town supervisor all powers and duties of day-to-day administration and supervision of all town and special district facilities and employees consistent with and in furtherance of any and all state and federal laws applicable thereto and with any and all local laws or resolutions of policy hereto or hereto adopted by the town board. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, it just much means that if anything goes wrong, it's my fault. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, whereas the Association of Towns of the State of New York will be holding its annual business meeting during President's Week, February 2021, and whereas during this annual business meeting, member municipalities will vote to elect the president, vice president, and vote on the association's annual legislation platform. Whereas the association requests the town assign a delegate and an alternate to attend its annual business meeting. Now therefore be resolved, the Town Board, Town of Windsor hereby appoint Town Attorney David Zagon as a delegate to attend the annual business session of the Association of Towns of the State of New York and cast the vote of the Town of Windsor for the purpose of electing president, vice president, voting on association's annual legislation and platform. Further resolved that Stephen A. Bedetti, councilman, is hereby appointed as alternate to attend the annual business session of the Association of Towns of the State of New York and cast the vote of the Town of Windsor for the purpose of electing the president, vice president, voting on association's annual legislative platform. In the event David Zagon is unable to perform said duties. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Is he muted?
Yes, again.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, authorize the retention accounting firm of Nugent and Hauser PC 101 Bracken Road, Montgomery, New York, to conduct the annual audit of the Town of New Windsor for the year ending December 31st, 2020, and authorize compensation according to January 4th, 2021. Retainer letter submitted by said accounting firm and attached here too. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, this is the firm that comes in to make sure that our controller's office is dotting all the i's and crossing all the t's. It's about a $32,000 number that they get to do that, but you need somebody to come in and make sure that everything's going right. And they've been doing this for the town for many, many years, so I appreciate the work that they do for us. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, authorize the supervisor to execute the attached agreement with Munistat Services Incorporated for municipal advisory services as outlined in Appendix A of said agreement for the year 2021. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, this firm is about $2,300 per year we pay them, and then they get a fee based on the size of the bond. So whenever the town takes a bond, you have to have outside people. And this is one of the groups that we use. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor hereby approve the amendment to the mutual cooperation agreement with New York Liquid Assets Fund to modify the definition of investment consultant and marketing agreement and authorize the supervisor to execute said amendment in accordance with the resolution annexed here too. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, this just has to do with a name change, on their end, whatever they're calling their company. It's the same company, just had a name change. Chair will entertain a motion to designate, it's a Town Board, Town of Windsor, designate the following banks as the official town depositories: JP Morgan Chase Bank, Manufacturers and Trade Trust Company, Orange County Bank and Trust Company, Capital One Bank of North America, and New York Liquid Asset Fund.
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes. Chair will entertain Town Supervisor George J. Myers to sign all checks and Controller John T. Finnegan to countersign same and permit said supervisor control to use a facsimile signature when necessary. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, authorize the town supervisor and town control to open time deposit accounts and day of withdrawals with the town's official depositories for the purpose of investing idle funds. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, to adopt the investment policies and guidelines documents attached here too. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, our investments are always very conservative. We kind of don't go out there with anything crazy. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, whereas the New York State Municipal Law, Section 104-B requires municipalities to adopt internal policies and procedures governing all procurement goods and services which are not required to be made pursuant to the competitive bidding requirements of New York State General Municipal Law, Section 103. Now therefore be resolved, Town Board, Town of New Windsor, hereby adopt the attached procurement policy in accordance with Section 104-B of the New York State General Municipal Law. Motion,
Move.
roll call.
Second, sorry.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, we just follow state guidelines on this, and when we're going out to bid, we follow those guidelines, and then the town attorney and his, they kind of keep a very close eye on it. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of Windsor, receive and file the town clerk the attached official undertaking of municipal officers. So this is kind of like the, so everybody is ensured that if we were ever do anything wrong, the taxpayer would not have the problem. I will assure you that that would not happen here. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor hereby determine that the consolidated schedule of fees and to allow for annual review and modification of fees involving the administration of town ordinance and regulations. The town board deems it in public interest to establish and adopt the attached standard schedule of fees of the town of Windsor for the year 2021. Motion,
Move.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yeah, yes, I'm sorry. I'd just like to acknowledge the work that was put into this by Jess in the attorney's office, the town clerk, and the building, Jen in the building department. A lot of changes this year. We're trying to get the fees to where they should be in 2021. So hopefully that'll help us a little bit with the budget issues that I think we will have. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, approve clerical assistance for evening 2021 town board meetings and set the salary same for $90 per meeting for each clerical staff attending, and said salary shall be paid from the general fund, town hall expense. Motion?
Move.
Roll. Second? Where's the second? Get a second?
Second. Second.
All right, roll call.
They keep muting me.
That's all right.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, that's just setting the fee for clerical staff. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, appoint Veronica A. McMillan, Esquire, 299 Windsor Highway, New Windsor, New York, New Windsor Planning Board Attorney for the year 2021, effective immediately. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Abstain?
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, Veronica's been on the planning board for a while. She does a good job, but she's helped us out with a couple other issues, and I appreciate her help. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, appoint Sean McGrath of 107 Parkdale Drive, New Windsor, New York, 12553 to the Windsor Planning Board. Term shall commence immediately, expire on December 31st, 2025. Motion?
Move?
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, Sean has been on the planning board before, does a great job for us. He's very involved in one of our local fire companies, and we always appreciate his donating his time to the town. Shall I entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, set the salary for the chairman of the planning board at $115 per meeting for 2021. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, that's Jerry Argenio, who's the planning board chairman, and we certainly get our money's worth out of him for $115 per meeting, because he's in my office at least once a week, going over some stuff. So I appreciate Jerry staying on board and helping out the town. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, set aside for members of the planning board at $80 per meeting for the year 2021. Motion?
Moved.
Second?
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, once again, these people are kind of here all the time, and they're $80 per meeting, which I appreciate their their contribution to the town. I'll entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor pursuant to New York State Town Law 267-2 and number 7653, opinions of the state controller, hereby appoint John McDonald Esquire as attorney for the zoning board of appeals for the year 2021, effective immediately. Motion,
Moved.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, appreciate the work that John does. John's spread in a few different directions here and keeps the town honest on many occasions. I appreciate all the work that he does. Gentlemen, entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, appoint to the zoning board of appeals, Richard Hamill of 126 Glendale Drive, New Windsor, New York, 12552, to commence immediately and expire on December 31st, 2025. Motion,
Move.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, I appreciate the work that Richard does. He's been on the planning board for a while, and everybody in town is very happy with his involvement. Gentlemen, entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, set the salary for the chairman of the zoning board of appeals at $115 per meeting for the year 2021. Motion,
Moved.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti.
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, this is another pretty good deal. Greg Biasotti is the chairman and puts a lot of time in, and we appreciate his contribution to the town. Gentlemen, entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, set the salary for members of the zoning board of appeals at $80 per meeting for the year 2021. Motion,
Moved.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, this is another pretty good deal of $80 a meeting. These people volunteer their time for the town. They're involved a whole lot more than just a meeting. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of New Windsor, appoint to the New Windsor Assessment Board of Review Timothy Murphy, 600 Little Britain Road, New Windsor, New York, 12553, term to commence immediately, expire September 30th, 2025. Motion,
Moved.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, I appreciate Timmy getting involved with us. Timmy's been a long time a resident of Windsor, and he comes from a family who's been involved in communities for a long time, and I appreciate his willingness to serve on Assessment Board of Review. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, set the salary of the chairman and secretary of Assessment Board of Review at $95 each per meeting for the year 2021. Motion,
Move.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, I appreciate these folks too. They kind of get busy around April, May, and go for a month or two, and then we have settled any people who are having some issues with their assessment. Chair will entertain a motion that the Town Board, Town of Windsor, set aside members' Assessment Board Review at $60 per meeting per member for the year 2021. Motion,
Moved.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, set the mileage rate of 56 cents per mile for town officials and employees in accordance with the Internal Revenue Service allowance. Motion,
Moved.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, this went down this year. I don't know why, but the government did it. So that day, motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, name the Mid-Hudson Times as the official newspaper, Town of Windsor for the year 2021. Motion,
Moved.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Abstain.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
No.
Councilwoman Santiago,
No.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, so we have 2 yeses and 2 nos. David,
Yes, sir.
where are we at? 2 yeses and 2 nos.
It doesn't pass.
Doesn't pass.
No.
Okay, we need an official town newspaper. So the reason that I put the Mid-Hudson Times on is that the Orange County Post has been in there for a while, and the Mid-Hudson Times is not, neither one of them are in town. So I thought that it would be fair to give someone else a little chance at this, to be the official town newspaper. So neither one of them.
George,
Go
can
ahead.
I make a motion? Can I make a motion or?
I was just gonna say that. So we have to
Yeah, I
have,
mean,
go ahead.
Just so that you guys know, you don't actually have to designate an official town newspaper if you don't wish to, but you can go ahead and,
Well,
make a motion if you do.
the Orange County Post, they do have an office in New Windsor, so I make a motion that it's Orange County Post for 2021.
Hold on a second. Where is their office?
815 Blooming Grove Turnpike, Suite 202.
I was just over there today. I didn't see anything listed. That's why I went to look.
Yeah, it's in the back, the north side of the building, just past that hot dog place.
Yeah, I drove all around. I looked at the sign in the front looking for the name, and I didn't see anything. I drove around the back. I didn't see anything.
Yeah, it's left side facing, about 100 yards off of 90 or 94.
They're not listed on the businesses that are there?
Yeah, they're actually not on the sign, but they have a sign on the building on the front, and they're page 6 in their paper lists them at 815 Blooming Grove Turnpike.
Really, I didn't see any building sign. Okay,
Yeah.
so, yes, somebody can make a motion. And
But
I
actually,
make the
can I hear, can I just hear more about what David had to say, that we don't have to
All right,
designate?
David,
I mean, do you have any specific questions? Town law basically says that the town board may designate an official town newspaper. You do
Okay,
not
so if
have
it's
to.
not an official town newspaper, I'm about the
don't-
advertising for bids and things like that.
If you
So
don't
what-
designate it, we just then have to look to see whether or not there is what's deemed to be an official newspaper that is published in town. To me, I've looked into it because I was anticipating this to be an issue.
Yep.
It's not clear to me as to whether or not the Orange County Post would in fact be designated or seen as though they published pursuant to the case law that talks about that anyway in the town of New Windsor. If not, then you can go to any newspaper that is published in Orange County that has a circulation within the town of New Windsor. The Mid-Hudson Times would qualify. Other publications would qualify as well.
Well, my motion stands to do Orange County Post. If I don't get a second, then I guess.
What's that?
I said, I'm going to make a motion that it's Orange County Post. The business is in New Windsor, the owner lives in New Windsor, so I think it's a good idea. We support our local businesses.
I'll second it.
Okay, so then the motion. Roll call.
Councilman Reaganbaum,
Abstain?
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
No. Okay, so they are now the official newspaper, whether they publish in town or don't publish in town. Okay, so let's move on here. Shall I entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, local chief plays the official radio station for 2021. Motion?
Move?
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Reaganbaum,
Yes?
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes. Shall I entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, adopt the following resolution regarding employee benefits for 5 Town of New Windsor full-time employees not covered by labor management agreements of individual employment contracts. Be it resolved that the same benefits set forth in current CSEA contracts shall apply in full to the following employees: clerk to the supervisor, deputy town clerk, confidential secretary to highway superintendent, deputy receiver of taxes, and deputy controller. And be it therefore resolved that this resolution supersedes all previous resolutions, including but not limited to resolution dated January 5th, 1972, February 1st, 1978, and June 21st, 1978. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Reaganbaum,
Yes?
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes. Shall I entertain a motion? Whereas the town of New Windsor regularly requires certain engineering work to be performed, namely regular town engineering services, including appearances at the planning board, meeting to consult on general engineering issues, an engineering review of submittals and field projects for which the town is reimbursed by the applicants of the same. And whereas the town has, based on past experience, discovered it to be more economical and efficient to have one engineering firm on retainer with whom to consult on matters such as those discussed above. Now therefore be resolved that the town board, town of Windsor, hereby appoint McGoey Hauser Etzel Consulting Engineers, DPC, of 33 Airport Center Road, Suite 202, New Windsor, New York, as the town's consulting engineer for the year 2021. And in connection with the above appointment, authorize the town supervisor to sign the attached letter proposal provided by McGoey Hauser dated December 15, 2020. Memorializes the financial terms under which such engineering service will be provided, and pursuant to the aforementioned letter proposal provided McGoey Etzel, authorize the town supervisor to engage in further discussion negotiation with McGoey Etzel concerning the execution of a new municipal service agreement, which shall outline further terms and conditions pertaining to services to McGoey Etzel shall provide to the town during the year 2021. Motion?
Moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Reaganbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, this has to do with their hourly rates, which the general engineering is $91 an hour, engineering services reimbursed by an applicant is $154. But there was some new information in their contract that their insurance company required that they put in. So our town attorney, Dave Zagon, wanted to take a little further look at that. So we'll probably get back to this, but for now, we're appointing them at that fee, and we'll see how the rest works out. I think it'd probably be okay, but I think Dave just wanted to get comfortable with it. Shall I entertain a motion, Hearing no objection, Town Board of New Windsor pursuant to the authority granted by the COVID-19 Emergency Eviction and Foreclosure Prevention Act of 2020 by the Executive Order Number 20283, issued by the Governor of the State of New York, does hereby direct the Town Assessor of the Town of New Windsor to grant exemptions to the 2021 assessor roll in accordance with the resolution attached thereto. Motion? Motion?
Moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Reaganbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, I talked about this at the workshop on Monday, and I misspoke about the number of people involved. It's actually 336. I somehow dropped to 300. But there's 331 low income and 5 disability low income. And what happened is the governor issued an executive order that they don't have to come in to town hall now because of COVID, and the assessor can just go by what happened last year. So probably a good idea to keep them out of town hall anyway. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of Windsor receive and file the attached seal proposal received and publicly opened on December 30th, 2020 for the police body worn camera systems. I'll talk about that. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor award the proposal for the police body worn camera systems to D-Bend Security Systems in the amount of $37,600. Recommended by Patrick Mangan, Deputy Chief Information Technology Officer, in attached correspondence dated December 31st, 2020. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Councilman Reaganbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes. And probably January, February, I started talking to the police chief about why we didn't have these body cams, and he was very much in favor of them. Took it to the town board. They were very much in favor of them, and now we're going to purchase them for $37,630. We've kind of reached out to the community, and some businesses have donated money to buy these. The cameras are about $560 a pop, and we're going to get 50 of them. And right now we have about 14,500 donated, and there's other money that's coming in. So I would suspect that we'll be nowhere near this $37,630 cost to the taxpayers. But these body cams take away a lot of uncertainty and he said, she said. So I'm anxious to get them. The police are anxious to get them. The public's anxious to get them. So I think it's kind of good for everybody. And hopefully it won't take too long, maybe a month or so, we'll have them. So hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of Windsor, receive and file with the town clerk the attached draft update of the 2021 hazardous mitigation. This is something that we have to do in order to stay qualified for federal money. And the one thing where we really watch out for is the FEMA grants. So this is something that we had to get done. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, hereby direct the town clerk to publish in the official town newspaper notice of 30-day public review and comment period regarding the adoption of an update to the townwide hazardous mitigation plan. Motion?
Moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Rowe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, hereby introduce and attach a proposed local law entitled Local Law to repeal and rescind Local Law 5/2000 of the Town Code of the Town of Windsor entitled Towing in its entirety, including any rule amendments to authorize the supervisor to execute the attached short environmental assessment form, declare itself to be lead agency for the sequel for the review of the action, determine that this is an unlisted action, and call a public hearing on the proposed local law for February 3rd, 2021 at 7 o'clock in the Windsor Town Hall, 555 Union Avenue, New Windsor, New York, in accordance with resolution to attach. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Rowe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, I'll speak to this in a minute. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, authorize and introduce the attached proposed law entitled Town Local Law, Town of New Windsor, authorize the supervisor to execute an attached short environmental assessment form, declare itself to be lead agency and the secret for the review of this action, determine this is unlisted action, and call a public hearing of proposed local law to be set for February 3rd, 2021 at 7 o'clock in the New Windsor Town Hall, 555 Union Avenue, New Windsor, New York, in accordance with the resolution annexed here too. Motion?
Moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, we had a towing law here that I put into effect when I was here last time. And when I got back, I started to get complaints about people about towing, and I called in the police chief and asked him about it, and the thing seemed to have gone by the wayside in the last police administration, and no one seemed to know why. So we spent a lot of time updating and trying to get this new towing law where we think would take effect. And what we're trying to do is kind of protect people who have to be towed by a towing company that's on our list. In other words, if we dispatch somebody. If we don't dispatch them, then everybody's on their own. So we're just trying to kind of provide some protection when we dispatch them. We don't want people to think that we are gaining anything. We're not gaining anything. We've had the tow truck operators in, gave them opportunity to get their 2 cents in, which they did. We took that into consideration. And this will be the towing law. One will repeal the old one, which no one was paying attention to anymore anyway, and then we'll put the new one into effect. And I think there was a whole host of people involved here, the chief, the dispatch, Steve Bedetti and Dave Zagon, and I appreciate the work that they did because it should have never went south, but for some reason it went south, so now it's back north. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor is recipient of the federal financial assistance in accordance with 49 CFR Part 26, hereby adopt the attached disadvantaged business enterprise DBE policy and appoint the town supervisor as its liaison officer, authorize supervisor to execute said policy and direct the town clerk to post and circulate same in accordance with the resolution annexed hereto. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti.
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers?
Yes, Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor hereby adopt the attached equal employment opportunity policy prohibiting discrimination against any applicant for employment, any employer, anyone doing business with the Town of New Windsor due to the age, color, sex, disability, national origin, race, religion, or veteran status. Appoint the town supervisor, responsible local officer, authorized supervisor to execute said policy, and direct the town clerk to post a signed copy of the EEO policy on the Town of New Windsor website, circulate copy of same to each town board member and all department heads, together with the copy of this motion, and directed a copy of the attached EEO policy be annexed to all future bids or requests for proposals soliciting work on behalf of the Town of New Windsor. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers?
Yes, this is just the town getting in line with the state policies. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, as a recipient of federal and state financial assistance in accordance with Article 15A of the New York State Executive Law, hereby adopt the attached Minority and Women's Business Development Policy, which is M/WBE policy, and appoint the town supervisor as responsible local officer, authorized supervisor to execute said policy, and direct the town clerk to post and circulate same in accordance with the resolution annexed hereto. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers?
Yes. This too is just getting us in line with federal and state policy. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, authorize the supervisor to execute the attached agreement between Riverkeeper Incorporated and Town of New Windsor for the removal of the Walsh Road Dam. Federal ID number NY 16280. Motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers?
Yes. This is a project that the city of Newburgh seems to be the lead player in. They had contract with the town before. They sent us a new contract. I sent it to Dave Zagon. He wasn't happy with everything that was in there. Had some things added. They signed it, we signed it, and now they're back trying to do that. The dam's been removed, I think. Chair will entertain a motion, Town Board, Town of Windsor, authorize the super to execute an intermunicipal agreement between the Town of New Windsor, Village of Chester, for the purposes of utilizing the Town of New Windsor's information technology officers to assist the Village of Chester Police Department on an as-is needed basis in the establishment, configuration, maintenance, and oversight of the Village of Chester Police Department, computers, services, peripherals, network, infrastructure, hardware, and geographical information services. Motion?
Moved.
Roll call.
Second.
Sorry, roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
Yes.
Councilman Moreau,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers?
Yes, this is John McDonald, the ID department work where they go around to these different municipalities, and it's $100 an hour that we're charging this Chester. Is that pretty much what everybody is?
Yes.
Okay, everybody's $100. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of Windsor receiving file agreement dated the first day of January 2020 between the County of Orange, Town of New Windsor 2020 for the funding by Orange County Solutions through the Orange County Youth Bureau in the total of $5,000. Motion?
Is that a receiving file, George?
I'm sorry, you're right. Yep, receiving file. I'm getting groggy here for an hour. So this was $5,000 that I think pretty much the recreation. Okay, another receiving file. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of Windsor receiving file with the town clerk, the attached agreement dated 18th day of September 2020 between the New York State Government's Traffic Safety Commerce Committee and Town of New Windsor for the period commencing October 1st, 2020 and terminating September 30th, 2021 for police services grants. This grant is $14,900 and the police department uses on some traffic issues that they have. Another receiving file, hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of Windsor receiving file with the town clerk, the attached assignment consent signed in counterparts and dated December 22nd, 2020 between the Mid-Hudson 2 Holding Company, Corbin and Farrell Communities at New Windsor LLC for the assignment of the cash public improvement bond in the amount of $134,893 for the Lafayette Ridge Apartments project from Mid-Hudson 2 Holding Company Incorporated to Farrell Communities at the town of New Windsor. This is a project that was approved a few years ago, and I think there's 61 apartments going in there, which I'm not crazy about. And the person who got all his approvals has now transferred it to Farrell Communities, and he's going to be building some apartments back there. We'll see how that works out. Most of the apartments that have been built in the last few years haven't seemed to work out too well. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of New Windsor shall receive and file with the town clerk the attached certificate of results for the canvass of ballots for the ballots cast for the fire commissioner at the annual election of the Quaseg Bridge Fire District held on December 8th, 2020. So we received these, they hold their own elections and they decide who it is, and we just receive and file the election results. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of New Windsor receive and file with the town clerk the attached certificate of results of canvasses for the ballots cast for fire commissioner at the annual election of Salisbury Mills Fire Department held on December 8th, 2020. Same thing, that this is just for the Salisbury Mills Fire Company. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of New Windsor shall receive and file with the town clerk the attached certificate of results for the canvass of ballots cast for the fire commissioner at the annual election of the Valesgate Fire District held on December 8th, 2020. That's also the same thing. They elect their own commissioners. We just receive and file it. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of New Windsor receive and file with the town clerk the agreement between the town of New Windsor and the New Windsor Volunteer Ambulance Corps doing business as the Windsor Emergency Medical Services, dated December 7th, 2020, to provide ambulance and pre-hospital emergency services for the period January 1st, 2021 through December 31st, 2021. They receive $37,000 a month from the town for providing this service, and they provide probably the best service, I don't say probably, but the best service in the county. We have a little problems with everybody and his brothers having trouble with their ambulance corps, and they keep calling ours, and we're responding to places outside of town, which I think we are in the process of kind of, myself and Mike Bay, getting that resolved where we're going to make sure we're paid for doing that. Let me receive and file. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of Windsor receive and file the attached Orange County Legislative Resolution number 308 of 2020, providing for levying of unpaid utility charges on properties in the town of Windsor pursuant to New York State Town Law, Section 198. This just says when the people don't pay their water bills and sewer bills, we send it to the county and they refund the money to us and they go after them. Another receive and file. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of Windsor receive and file the town clerk the attached letter from John C. Capello, Esquire, and dated August 28, 2020, rescinding the notice of claim in the matter of Diversified Properties, LLC, and DP Stonegate, LLC versus Town of Windsor and the Town Board et al. And this is that project that was up there that Stonegate was doing up off the countryside development, and they weren't happy with the moratorium and they were going to sue us, but we've kind of reached an agreement with them and they're going to go back to their original proposal of 81 apartments, which is amenable to the people who live up there and amenable to me. I mean, I'm not crazy about apartments, but they had those approvals a few years ago, and then they were trying to get them up. But right now, everything seems to be okay. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of Windsor, which we even filed with the town clerk, the attached 2020 annual reports for the town clerk, building department, fire prevention, recreation department, the Windsor Emergency Medical Services. So these are reports that are available in the town clerk's office, kind of giving an idea of what all our departments did over the last year, and they all have performed admirably. We've been fighting this COVID thing, and everybody's kind of pulled their own weight, and so far, so good. Receive and file the 2020 monthly reports. Hearing no objection, Town Board, Town of Windsor shall receive and file with the town clerk the attached monthly reports for the following departments. They're all for December 2020. Justice Calderon, Justice Myers, Police Department, Building Department, the Recreation Department, Tax Receiver Utility Report, Town Clerk, the Windsor Emergency Medical Services. So those also are available at the town, in the town clerk's office for review. Holy camole. Oh. Okay, the next item on the agenda is public forum. So this particular comment period is on anything. Anybody wants to call in, send an email in, come online, talk about anything you want to talk about, and I'll be glad to answer any and all questions. So we'll wait a few minutes and see who pops up.
Can you hear me, George?
Somebody pop up, I'll be
Looks
dead.
like Don.
Who's talking?
It's Don Beachy.
Hi, Don, how are you?
Good. How's everybody? I haven't seen everybody for, I don't know how long.
Well, there they are.
Wow.
Yeah, here I am.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions there, George. You sent out a quick synopsis of where the town of New Windsor stands physically, financially rather. And I know you inherited a bunch of bees, but at the very end, you put down, to me, raising taxes is not an option. In my opinion, I know because you inherited this fiasco, you don't want to raise the taxes there. In my opinion, if we wanted to get the sewer plant.
I'm having a hard time hearing him.
Hey, wait, hold on a second. Hey, can you turn this louder? I'm having a little trouble myself. Yeah, hold on a second.
Can you hear me?
Now, hold on, Don.
I don't think it's
Okay.
on our end. I think it's on Don's
It's gotta
end.
speak closer to the mic.
It's on his end?
It's gotta speak closer to the mic.
Okay, so is this as loud as it can go?
It looks like
Mhm.
Do you know this thing?
It's as loud as it goes.
Loud as it goes? Okay, Don, it's a little bit on your end, so can you speak up a little louder so the board can hear you?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
At the end of your quick synopsis that you wrote, you said to me, raising taxes is not an option. Well, I understand it because you inherited this this whole fiasco here. In my opinion, if we're going to get the sewer plant up to par, we're going to have to start raising taxes. And if we don't, people are going to start having sewer in their houses. And do they want to have sewer backed up in the houses, or do they want the sewer plant up to par? So I just wanted to know your opinion on that. And I know the controller is, giving you all the numbers and everything. I'm sure that he knows, what we have to raise. But one way or another, we're going to have to do it.
Okay, yeah, listen, that's why I said that it's a rather large project, and there's different funds in town. You have a general fund, a highway fund, a water fund, the sewer fund, and a lot of people don't have sewer service, so they're not in the fund and they wouldn't pay anything. So it
Yeah.
depends on if you're one of those districts, but it's probably looking like a $60 million project that we're looking at. So the sewer fund would see some kind of increase in there, and it's a little early for us to say just how much. But if you look at your water bill every quarter, there's a sewer charge in, and it's like $40 for a
Right.
quarter. So I
Right.
would suspect that will go up. So I was kind of more talking about our general fund budget, talk about
Right.
taxes going up. I'm going to post something pretty soon about tax bills so people see it, because lots of people don't pay water tax, and they don't pay any sewer tax, and they don't pay any garbage tax. And I think people really didn't understand that concept. So that's why I'm going to speak to a little bit and post some things. But somebody actually said, well, the only way you get garbage picked up is if you know somebody. Well, that's just insane. The only way you get town garbage if you pay the tax to have it picked up. And that, when you get out to the western end, they have commercial people who pick it up.
I see.
So just for me, with 2 senior citizens in a house, my tax bill for garbage is $680.
Right.
So if you're not in the garbage, you don't have that tax. If you're not in the water district, you don't have the water charges. And if you're not in the
Right.
sewer, you don't have the. So it's kind of the only funds that really are townwide are the general fund, the highway fund, and the ambulance fund. And that's it. The other ones depend upon whether or not you get the service. So when I'm talking about that, listen, there's some things that I'm not crazy about, but you could hear tonight that whether or not I'm the supervisor, I have one vote. So when I see people don't want to vote the way I want to vote, I mean, there's not much I can do. I mean, they were elected to cast a vote. They cast a vote. No hard feelings. It's that you're living with the vote, and that's the end of that.
I mean, I understand, nobody wants to see their taxes raised, but sometimes you might have to. And I looked at the upper Saddle River, which is a very exclusive area, and they have a lot of things in place that if people don't take care of their property, naturally they come in and take care of it for them. But one way or another, I think one of these days we're going to have to start raising the taxes here. Hey, I'm a taxpayer, and so I don't want to see the taxes raised, but I know you inherited this fiasco, so.
Yeah, well, listen, it is what it is. The 4 of the 5 board members pay property taxes, so we're aware of that.
Yeah.
And we're constantly looking at the taxes. And listen, this COVID has hit people very, very hard. And so when you say tax increase to some people, they're struggling to just pay their bills and put food on the table. So when I said that, at some point in time, I'm fighting the good fight about the taxes. Whether the other board members fight that fight, that's up to them. But I'm just saying, to me, it's not an option. I'm struggling now with some things up here. But once again, there's 5 people. Everybody gets a vote. The only problem with that is you live with your vote.
I know.
So that's where I am. I mean, I think the board members are pretty much aware of where I am and where I'm going. They go where they want to go.
I see. Well, I know your controller knows exactly what he's doing there. I know him well, so, but.
The other point you made about Saddle River is that we have a very good building department and a very good building inspector, and she stays on top of properties.
Yeah.
We do have a code compliance bunch that goes out there, and if people aren't taking care of their property, we take action.
Sure.
And she is very much aware and on point on what she's doing up there. And I deal with Jennifer Gallagher every day, and we talk about things like that. So yeah, we do the same thing. Saddle River. The difference between us and Saddle River is kind of night and day, money wise.
And there's just one other thing. Well, I do have a couple of things, but I don't want to take up everybody's.
That's all right. Go ahead.
But you know how Butter Hill is. The roads, when it was first put in there, they're extremely narrow. And parking on both sides of the roads there, it's a safety issue. And I'll tell you how well, at one point there was a fire on Butternut Drive. The fire department came up from down by where the water plant is, and cars were parked on both sides. They couldn't even get through, so they had to back up and go all the way around, and then go to that fire call. Also, I've seen the garbage trucks going down the road. They had to blast their horn to get the people to come out to move one of the cars on each side of the road. So what I was suggesting is if we could put a road sign up on one side of the road on the most traveled parts of Butter Hill, which is Butter Hill Drive and Butternut Drive. The signs will say, no parking this side, penalty $50 or whatever it is. But I think it's a safety issue. And, I wanted to see if you could do something about it, or maybe the highway superintendent can do something about it.
Well, listen, we struggled this last snowstorm with cars being parked on the road all over the place, and we have an ordinance where when you have 2 inches of snow, you can't park on the road. So we did tow a lot of cars, and listen, that's been an ongoing problem down there. Those roads were too narrow from day one.
Exactly.
And everybody knows that too narrow.
Yeah,
So I'll have a conversation with the chief tomorrow.
okay,
Ask Kim for some opinions, and I know the roads that you're talking about. One of the board members actually lives down there, so
yeah.
very familiar with what goes on down there. I mean,
Yeah, no, she knows exactly what's
Yeah.
happening down
all right.
there.
Anything else?
But just one other thing, I think I went over it with you, the traffic light up at Route 94. I talked to Scoofus on it, and he said he was going to do something, and then this COVID thing came up, and so now that is in limbo more or less there. And when I had that temporary light put in there, I was made, well, I wasn't made to, but I went and I had to get over 750 signatures, which I did do to get the temporary traffic light put up. Right at the present time, since there isn't school, the buses don't have that much of a problem getting out of the Butterhill Drive. But eventually, when they go back to school again, the same issue is going to happen again. And the dollar store and the post office and the pizza place across the road there, they're getting a lot more traffic in there, and cars are having a hard time getting out from that parking area and even Butterhill Drive, and people come flying down the road and don't even slow down. And I'm wondering what we can do. The highway department for New York State there, they just shut you off. And but I'm just asking you and see if you could do something there. I can get a hold of Scoofus again if you want, but
I'll tell you the problem that James Scoopers is probably having, and we have the same problem here. Lots of people in the state are on some kind of working from home, and it's hard to get anything done. I mean, we've talked to DOT, DEC, and a lot of them are working remotely, and that creates a lot of issues. So I'm sure, I mean, he's pretty responsive, James. I mean, he does a good job. So I think if he can do anything, he'll do it. We actually have no say on state highways. I mean, they make the call and we just go along with the program.
yeah.
So when that light went up, and I know it was you and Larkin who did it.
Yeah.
Once it came down, I'm like, okay, that's the end. They should have just left it up.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand.
Once
The
it came
pole is
down-
still there.
Yeah, no, I know. Once it came down, I said to myself, well, that's the end of that. But listen, next time I talk to Scoopers, I'll talk to him, but I would bet my bottom dollar he's going to tell me that DOT people are remotely working.
Okay.
All right, I'll talk to the chief.
That's all I
tomorrow.
have. That's all I have. Thank you very, very much for talking to me. I haven't seen anybody for quite a while.
Oh, well, hopefully we'll get back to the courtroom one of these days.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right.
Yeah, thanks a lot, George.
All right, Don.
You're doing a good job.
Okay, buddy.
Okay.
How about you? No? How about you? You. Okay. Any of the board members got anything you want to say?
Yeah, I just want to say, George, it was a pleasure working with the town board this past year. We got a lot accomplished. I'm looking forward to one more year. And I wish everybody a happy and healthy new year.
Okay.
Hey, Supervisor Myers, this is Tom Palmer. Am I able to speak?
Oh, yeah, we didn't shut down. Who is this?
Tom Palmer.
Tom Palmer?
Okay, yes. Go ahead.
Yes, nothing related to possibly what you think I was calling about or joining. It's more in relation to the Beaver Dam Lake dam project. Obviously, our lake is still dry, has been for a couple of years now. You know, there's been cost overruns, construction delays, and some construction errors. Knowing that it's run by the Orange County Department of Public Works, is there anything the town of New Windsor could do, possibly in coordination with the town of Cornwall and Blooming Grove, to have some leverage to get our lake refilled? Because it's definitely the neighborhood is getting a little fed up.
Yeah, let me speak with Randazzo tomorrow, and I'm not sure who the supervisor is in Blooming Grove, but I'll reach out for him. But the person that kind of would be able to exert some pressure on the county is your county legislator. depending upon who the one is for that particular area. I mean, I think the county's suffering from the same issues that I just told that last caller that the state is suffering from. A lot of people working remotely, and it doesn't seem to be a lot of stuff getting done anyway. But I will talk to Rendazzo tomorrow, and I'll call Steve Newhouse. I have a good relationship with him.
George, can I say, Tom, I'm on those calls all the time with the Beaver Dam Lake Association. I know there was I don't know if it was a contractor error or design flaw with the sluice gate. Was that done? Is that in or no?
The latest I heard from Eric Dahl is that the solutions for that are still being reviewed. So we haven't been given a schedule yet on. So once the solution's approved from the engineering department, parts have to be ordered, and then whatever the lead time is, plus whatever the contractor's time is to install it. So we have not yet gotten that.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, the way I'm getting it is the contractor left some parts out and realized it. I'm not certain, by the way I was getting it, is almost filling. It's not an option at this point until that's fixed. But, you know, like hopefully the supervisor can get someplace with the other people.
Yeah, let me, Tom, can you just send me an email with your address, phone number tomorrow, and I'll talk to these guys and I'll call you.
I can. I appreciate that.
All right, yeah, and I'll touch base with them and see what the problem is. But once again, I think everybody's not at full strength with this COVID. We certainly
Yes.
aren't. So that's a problem. But if you email me your number, I'll call you.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. I thought you told me no one was there.
He didn't,
Huh?
he didn't raise his hand to come in.
How about now? No?
You're good.
Okay, so let me go back to the board if you cut anybody off. Anybody else got anything they want to say?
No, I just also want to echo what Stephen said. Appreciate the work that we did in the past 2020 and look forward to next year. Thank you. Happy New Year to everybody.
Okay. Andrew?
I'm good. Thank you, George.
Stephen, would you like to keep this going any longer?
No.
Okay, that's good news.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh, come on.
come on, yeah. Chair will entertain a motion, town board, town of New Windsor, adjourn the town board reorganization meeting at 8:20. Is somebody else on there?
No, someone dropped out.
Okay, motion,
Move.
Second.
roll call.
Councilman Regenbaum,
If we don't vote yes, let's keep going, George.
No, Andrew, please. I'm begging you,
Yes.
begging you.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilman Bedetti,
Yes.
Councilwoman Santiago,
Yes.
Supervisor Myers.
Yes, before Andrew and Steve Moreau, I have some stuff that you guys need to sign if you're around tomorrow or the next day.
Okay.
All right,
We'll be there.
thank you,
Thank
goodbye.
you.
Am I